Hi Floss Tube, it's Buckle Stitch here and I'm back for an update. I haven't done a proper update for about a month or so now, I think, something like that. I did do a vlog of when I went to Alexandra Palace. It was only about 5 minutes long, but I think that's the last time I uploaded anything. So yeah, I'm back with a normal update. So I've got quite a few things to show you, definitely in the way of stash. When I show you everything that I have accumulated in the last month or so, it probably looks like I've spent quite a bit of money. I don't think I have really, but maybe I have if you add it all up, but anyway, let's not worry about that. So what have I been up to since my last update? Well, the main thing is that I managed to get a place on the Milton Keynes retreat with about 2 weeks notice. I've been intrigued by retreats, I don't know, maybe for the past year or so. You know, really interested in meeting up with other people that share the same hobby, that have the same passion about cross stitch as I do. But I think I'd been a little bit nervous in the past about committing myself to doing that, and yeah, just generally a little bit nervous about the whole thing. But few weekends before, or 2 weekends before the actual retreat took place, I noticed on the group, which is called something like MK Retreat and Supply or something like that, someone was unable to make it, so I thought I'd go for it and see if I could grab the place of the person that couldn't make it. So that turned out really well, and 2 weeks later I was off to Milton Keynes. So it worked out really well for me because if you watch my videos regularly, you'll know I'm a teacher. So as the retreat was a Friday to last weekend, actually, Friday to Sunday, the Friday fell in my half term off of work. So on the Friday I arrived at about 12 o'clock, and that kind of was the time that I think most other people were getting there. And as I got there, I met Bow Ribbon. I'm sure if you're in Facebook groups and Stitch Mania, things like that, you'll have seen Bo post a lot of her whips and comment on lots of other people's whips. She doesn't make Floss Tube videos, but like Crafty Creative Claire said, she should, because she has some lovely stuff and lovely stitching going on. So yeah, I met her. It was really strange because she said to me, "You won't know who I am, but I know you." So that was really weird. But yeah, so, and then because we planned to meet with Crafty Creative Claire, but she, if you've watched her video, you will notice that, or you will know that she got stuck. She had train issues like lots of other people that went. She got chucked off the train at a place called Cheddington, one stop or a couple of stops away from Milton Keynes itself. So me and Bo went to rescue her from Cheddington train station. So that was a bit of an adventure, but we found her and drove back, and I think we managed to start stitching maybe by about 1:30ish. So from about 1:30, we had a good few hours of stitching, and then dinner time, and then more stitching. And that's kind of the pattern of the weekend really, because it's kind of sleep, stitch, or no, sleep, have breakfast, stitch, have lunch, stitch, have dinner, stitch, sleep, and repeat. So yeah, it was a really, really good weekend. Sat with lots of people that just do some amazing stitching. I've kind of realised that I am a very slow stitcher compared to some people. If you watch Tina in Stitches video, you'll see just how much of a, I think it's either a Mirabilia or a Nora Corbett, I can't remember, but how much she got done of that in just one weekend. It was amazing. And not just her, but Stitching Joanne. She was doing the same new start as Tina in Stitches. She got loads done too, and yeah, so I am quite slow in comparison. And when I show you what I got done, you'll probably see why, or see how true that is. Yeah, what else can I say about the retreat? So yeah, it was really, really good. And if you were like me, and you feel like you only sort of communicate with other stitchers online through Facebook groups, and you have just a tiny bit of interest in maybe meeting up with some of those people, or just to share in your hobby, then I thoroughly recommend going on one of these retreats. I mean, they're not just in Milton Keynes, there's one in Crewe in February, there's others being organised in all different UK locations on the back of this Milton Keynes one. So yeah, definitely check it out if you've got even just the slightest bit of interest in what they're like. I'll definitely recommend it. And I'm booked on to go to the April one in Milton Keynes again. Yeah, and now I've been once, I feel a lot more sort of confident, and I'll be far less nervous, as there's lots of people there that I've spoken to and got to know a little bit, so that'll be good. Next time it's not when I'm off on school holiday, so I won't be able to get there till maybe something like hopefully by dinner time, but yeah, I won't be able to get there till the evening. So Bo and Claire, save me a seat. Yeah, so I've kind of touched on the stitching that people did at the retreat. Some of the stitching I have seen was amazing. There was a lady there who had brought all her mirabilia finishes. Mirabilias, I really love what they look like, and they do look amazing when they're finished. I don't think at that moment, not saying never, but at the moment I've got enough of a interest to want to stitch one. However, they do look lovely, and maybe I will one day, or maybe even a Nora Corbett. Actually, some of the Nora Corbett fairies are really nice, so maybe I'll give one of those a go one day. But she bought loads of mirabilias with her, and this lady's also a teacher, and I do not know where she finds the hours in a day to get these done. But if you go over to Tina in Stitches live video that she did while we were at the retreat, which I'm on as well for a tiny bit of time, and looking very blue, you will see them show. Yeah, you will see, I think it's Tina, it's Joanne, reverse stitching with Claire, and Crafty Creative Claire, just showing some of those mirabilias. They are stunning. But not only the mirabilias, loads. Mandy, who I can't remember her, it might be Mandy Floss. I think it is Mandy Floss. Cool name, by the way. Bought a suitcase full of finishes, and she had loads of things like Country Cottage Needleworks, Silver Creek samplers, Plum Street samplers, all finishes like that. So she does videos, although I don't think she's done one recently. But just some amazing stuff. Probably more like the kind of thing that I like to stitch, but yeah, lovely. Okay, so sorry, I'm looking up there because I've got my notes up there. Looks like I'm looking high up. Actually, I'm resting my phone on my ironing board and sitting on a stool. It's kind of the best arrangement I could come up with today, because my husband's asleep after a night shift. I've kind of shut myself away in the back of the house. Tried the conservatory, but it's too sunny to kind of get a good position in there. And so yeah, I've got my phone on my ironing board. My notes are standing up in a notebook up there. Yeah, and I've got stuff all around me, so yeah. So I will show you now some of the haul I got from the retreat, because lots of the stitchers that go there who run small businesses, they bring their things for people to buy should they wish to. So you have Marnie's mixed bag. So Sarah Marnie actually organises the Milton Keynes retreat. So she bought all of her goods, threads, yeah, lots of other bits and bobs, hence mixed bag. Floss Candy, who is run by Becca. She sells needle minders, grime guards, some other nice little bits and pieces. I really love her stuff, and I've got a couple of bits to show you from her. She had a really amazing finish while we were there. It's one of the frosted pumpkin stitch alongs from a couple of years ago, and she finished it, and it was really nice. Whenever anyone in the room finishes something, there's like a big cheer, a round of applause, and so that happened a couple of times. But yeah, Becca was sat on our table, and if you don't watch, she does do some Floss Tube videos, so I think it's Floss Fairy on YouTube. If you find her Instagram, which is Floss Candy, her business is called Floss Candy, so if you look for her that way, you'll find her Instagram and her Etsy page and YouTube. Most of you will probably know who I'm talking about. But yeah, really, really lovely finish that she had, and there's a picture on her Instagram. So she bought some stuff to sell. Lisa Simmons. It's really funny because you've watched all of these people online, and now I've actually met quite a lot of them. It's quite surreal. She bought needle minders, of which I have some. Who else bought stuff? Oh, and Kate from Sparklies came on the Saturday. So she bought hundreds of pieces of fabric and patterns and some other stuff, set it up in the room next door to the stitching room, and yeah, just had loads of fabric for sale. So I bought a few of those pieces as well. So I'll show you those. So I'll start with the Floss Candy stuff. So I actually bought 2 needle minders and a thread counter from Floss Candy. One, she was really kind, and because I'd already had a conversation with her about the stuff that she had brought, and I told her that my sister would be interested in a llama needle minder. She put it to one side for me, so thank you very much. So I haven't got that one to show you, but I have my one. So I've got my little thread counter here. It's like a little macaroon. I never know which it is, macaroon. It's a little thread counter, which I thought was quite cute. And my needle minder. I'm going to get the name of this wrong. Narwhal, something like that. Yeah, so I really love this. So that's the name of her shop. So yeah, that was really cute. So I bought that. There was also a raffle, and lots of these small businesses donated raffle prizes, and I won a little pouch made by Floss Candy. So it's so well put together. It's really, really lovely. So it will definitely come in handy for something. I don't know what yet, but look at that. Look at the tassel. Oh, it's so cute. I love the colours of it as well. So I'll definitely be using that for something, but for now it's got my needle minder in it till I use it on a project. So that's that. Needle minders from Lisa at No More Lost Needles. So very kindly, Crafty Creative Claire had ordered 2, I think, and then kindly gave me one of them. Don't think it's going to focus, but it says Milton Keynes Stitching Retreat 2017. So thank you very much, Claire. And then I bought this one. What happens at retreat stays at retreat. So that's quite cool. Oh, and I'll show you the Sparklies fabric. Sorry, I'm looking down at the floor because that's where all my stuff is. Okay, so from Sparklies, I bought some 9x13 28 cashel linen in oatmeal. So I'll get it out of the packet and show you. Okay, it's opalescent, so a nice neutral with sparklies in it. So I really like that. Sorry if you keep seeing the top of my head. I've got the same size piece. This time it's 28 Britney in lemon and lime. So yeah, really like that. I could have bought loads. I was quite restrained compared to some people, I think. But I've got no projects in mind for any of these, so yeah, I didn't want to buy too much without knowing what I would use them for. And then this piece is an opalescent fabric. Don't know if you can see the sparkles that well. But yeah, it's a pale blue piece. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. And that is called Blue Lace Agate, 13 by 18 inches, 32 count Murano in opalescent. Okay. Okay, so that was my haul from the retreat. I will now show you some of my whips. Okay, so I think I have worked on I've got 3 whips and an FFO to show you. I've only got 13 minutes recording time left on this video, so I will have to try, oh sorry, sniffing. Okay, so I'll start with the FFO. So I showed you last time in my video that I had bought a frame for my Kathy Barrick piece, so here it is. Now I didn't do too great a job of framing this, so don't look too closely, but yeah, I made a bit of a boo-boo when I was trimming it to size to fit in the frame, but from a distance I don't think you can tell, so the less said about that the better. But I'm really pleased with my frame choice for it. Yeah, and I think the navy blue of the frame kind of suits the blue in the bunting. Yeah, oh sorry, I think my husband's awake. I did send him a message, tell him to stay upstairs. Right, which I think he has. Okay, so if you haven't watched any of Stitch M's video, sorry, Stitch M's videos, she's also stitched this too with a different colour conversion to mine, so check her video out if you haven't seen it. Okay, oh yeah. So my next one, so this is a finish. I don't think I'd finished it last time I showed it to you, but if not, here it is again. So this is my birth sampler type cross stitch pattern that is for my friend whose baby is due mid-November. So I'm waiting for it to be born so I can add name and weight and all of that stuff, and then I'll buy a frame for it, and I'll probably buy a white frame. So the cross stitch I did for her first child was by Vervico. This is a kit, and it features the same sort of animals but in a bus. And I bought kind of a rustic white frame for that, so I think I'll try and find something that's the same or very similar. Oh yeah, really pleased with that. Okay. Oh yeah, so I'll show you what I worked on at the retreat. Okay, so I've talked in previous videos about how I had plans to start Canada by Stitch Rovia. I had ordered a piece of fabric from Sparklies called Primrose in 18 count Ada. So I don't know if the colours will show up very well, but it's a very pale fabric and it's got yellows, sort of pale yellows, greens and blues in it. And this is designed to be stitched on white, but I didn't really want to do it on white, but something very pale that's not going to detract from the bright colours in the design. So that is as far as I got. So I started off with the text as that was in the middle. I stitched the beaver, much to some people's delight at the retreat, and the building and the leaf and the tree and the little flag, which Claire found out for me was the logo of the Hudson Bay Company, Canada's oldest company, and that's from Needle Keep Emporium. But that is as much as I got done. So for the whole week, no, that wasn't quite what I did for the whole weekend. I did work on another whip, but this was the majority of the time. And that was the grand total of what I stitched. But hey ho, it doesn't matter really, does it? So yeah, so I haven't actually worked on this since the retreat, so that is the sum total of what I got done there. So yeah, so it's 18 count Ada on called Primrose by Sparklies, and it's a pattern by Stitch Rovia. And if you haven't, well, you probably do, but Pam Reed is stitching this as well. 2 of them, in fact. Not 2 for me. Okay, and that is mostly kitted up with the anchor threads that Amanda Panda Stitching sent me, so thank you. Okay, and the last whip that I've worked on, and what I'm currently trying to, well, I'm focusing on a finish for this, is another Stitch Rovia piece that was in an issue of World of Cross Stitching magazine. And this is called Soaring Santa. And when I was at the retreat, I worked on quite a lot of this part of the village here. I only worked on this, I think, during the day Friday, and then it was Friday night that we all had a new start. So lots of people had a new start all at the same time. But do you know what? This actually looks good on camera. It looks good in real life. I don't, you know, but actually looking at it like this, I'm actually really pleased with it. So a couple of, oops, sorry, cue snap on the floor. So I finished this off the other day, and then over a couple of nights I stitched the reindeer. And it's not charted to have this, but I added some petite treasure braid, gold petite treasure braid, to the antlers, just to give it a bit of bling. There's also some sort of like, oh, I'll show you in the pattern. Oh, no, I won't because I haven't got it. But there's sort of some sparkly sort of stars and lines that go sort of underneath the reindeer. And it's charted to be done in a light brown, but I'm going to do that with, I'm either going to do it just with petite treasure braid, or I might combine it to the brown that it's charted to have, which is what I did with the antlers. So yeah, I reckon I'll get this finished hopefully within the next 2 weeks. It's got 2 more reindeers to do, and then Father Christmas in his sleigh. So I'm hoping that will be finished. And I'd really like to get it fully finished for Christmas, but I don't want to put it in a frame. I want to make it into like some sort of hanging, or you know, something that, you know, I can hang up somewhere. I can put with all my Christmas decorations and then get it out every year at Christmas. So if anyone has any ideas about how you think I should finish this, then please drop me a comment. This has been stitched on a fabric from Sew It All. It's very frayed and tatty around the edges now, but I think it was called, it says somewhere on it, or yeah, it's called Cloud Stone, and it's a 28 count even weave. And this would have been a purchase from when I went to Alexandra Palace last year. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that, and that is from Needlekeep Emporium. Okay, so they are my 3 or 4 things that I have worked on. So my finish and my fully finished, my finish almost, and my 2 whips. I do have a little bit more haul from the Ali Pali stitching show, and I did show you that, I think, in my vlog, so I won't show all of that again. Oh, but what I will show you is a pattern that me, Michelle Gunn, Bow Ribbon and Crafty Creative Claire are going to do a stitch along with. So Crafty Creative Claire found it on, I think it was Pigside Needlecraft, I think that's what it's called, on their Facebook page, and we all really loved the pattern, so we decided to all buy it, and we're in the process of ordering or waiting for our threads to arrive, and choosing the fabric, and then I think when we're all ready we'll get started, I think. So this is from Silver Creek Samplers, and it's called, what is it? I can't even remember. I can't even remember what it's called. Olivia Ochre Leaf, that's it. So how nice is the dress? So this is a new release, because you can tell as well, because it's got 2017 in the picture. Yeah, so it's all charted to be done in Weeks Dye Works and a Gentle Arts thread. So I've only got a few Weeks Dye Works, and it's quite difficult to find DMC or anchor conversions for them. So what I've done this morning is I've gone through it and I've ordered the Weeks Dye Works that I think it needs. You know, so I've ordered the Weeks Dye Works for all the leaves, you know, to show some colour variation and whatnot. But, you know, if there's some colours, like for the bird down here and the bird here, that is the only time that a dark grey is used. So, and I don't think variation in that really matters too much. So I'm going to find a dark grey in my anchor set to substitute that with. And there's a few colours I've done like this, but I think I ordered about 11 or 12 Weeks Dye Works in the end. And I didn't buy the Gentle Arts one, I've substituted it. The Gentle Arts one was, I think, supposed to be used for the main red of the leaf here, I think. But I've substituted it with Cinnamon Twist from Weeks Dye Works. Because I did a big order with, not a big order, but I ordered them all with Lakeside Needlecraft. And they don't sell Gentle Arts, so I just chose a Weeks Dye Works that was very close to it in colour. So, yeah, so we're all gonna start stitching it at the same time at some point soon. So it'll be really interesting to see what everyone's turns out like. Yeah, so that'll be good. So I did also buy another pattern from Peakside at the same time. Which I cannot find. Yeah, which I can. Oh no, here it is. Here it is. So this is a Little House Needleworks. I really like Little House Needleworks, and this is called The Rain Fell. So it says, the rain fell, the flowers grew, grey skies faded into blue. So I've got no immediate plans to start this, but I really liked it, and I felt that ordering one chart was a bit pointless. Why not add two? So, yeah. Okay, so that is you up to date with me. I hope you enjoyed listening to me waffle about the retreat. Yeah, so I will hopefully be back in another, I'm going to say 2 to 3 weeks. Can't seem to keep up to date with every 2 weeks like I want to. But yeah, so I think I'll be back in maybe 2 or 3 weeks' time. So happy stitching to everybody, and I will see you soon. Bye.